Hola guys, it's Adrian, didn't do a recap. Okay, I gotta go really fast because 10 minutes to sum up this whole episode will take forever. Okay, so we know what happened last week. If you don't know, watch my recap of last week because I'm not gonna go through it again. Okay, so we start out. Georgina is all happy and she keeps on calling Serena. Keeps on calling her. You know, best friends are supposed to pick up. And she has coffee and everything. And all of a sudden, she goes to her hotel, and guess who's waiting there but Dan? And she flips out. She's like, oh, shit. So she goes up to Dan. And Dan's like, oh, I haven't heard from Serena in a long time. And And all of a sudden, he gets a call from Serena's cell phone. And he thinks it's her, but it's somebody. And the guy on the phone is like, are you the one who's been calling here? And Dan's like, yeah. And he goes, well, she left her phone here and she walked out with 3 other guys last night at 2 a.m. So Dan's flipped out, and it's a bar, by the way. So he freaks out and everything. So Lily is getting interviewed by an interviewer. I don't know what he works for, but she took this really, good photograph of Rufus when he was in that band, and Rufus is using that as a poster for his upcoming concert that night for Rolling Stones. So she's getting interviewed, and she gets interrupted by Dan, who Dan asks if she knows where Serena is, and she says no. And then the guy asks her, do you think the reason why you took that picture so good was because you were in love with him? And she's like, leave. You know, yeah, she was. Hello. But, yeah. So, Chuck and Nate meet up at Blair's house, and they don't know why they're there, but Blair called them. And so they're waiting and waiting, and Blair comes up, and she goes, I need your guys' help. And they walk over to the elevator, and Serena looks like crap. She's on the floor, she looks drunk, her hair's a mess. They go and pick her up. It's just not a good scene at all. So we bounce back to Rufus and Vanessa. Before this, Vanessa is getting out of work because she's going to go help Rufus, set up everything. She's Rufus's helper for some reason. I don't know why. And Nate meets her, and she goes, oh, finally, when are we going to have our first date? And he goes, how about tonight? And she goes, well, I'm doing something tonight, but you want to come with? She tells him about the concert, and he goes, okay, I'll meet you there at 7:30. So anyway, so she's helping Rufus and everything. We see that big poster and everything, and they talk a little bit, not important. Okay, so we go back to Blair's house, and Serena's taking a shower, and Chuck and Nate are asking Blair why they're there together, because they don't like each other. And all of a sudden, Dan walks in, and he goes, I want to know where Serena is. I want to know now. And they're all three like, no, you can't see her. She doesn't want to see you. Being all hesitant, and all of a sudden, and Dan's getting pissed. He wants to see Serena. So Serena walks down the stairs, and she walks through them, and Dan goes, I want to know what is going on. I got this call from some guy at a bar saying that you walked out with 3 guys last night at 2 a.m. Are you trying to tell me you're cheating on me? And she goes, yeah. And Dan goes, you know what, I can't take this no more. We're done. And he walks out. So Serena starts crying, because that's not what happened. She doesn't want to tell him about the whole she killed somebody thing. So Nate and Chuck don't know. And they're like, Serena, just tell us. So, and Blair goes, I want to know everything. So this is all done in flashback mode. We are going to find out what exactly happened. So, if you guys remember from the first season, she had a big sex thing with Nate. She was drunk. Well, this happens right after. And another thing, I guess killing this guy happened on East Side in New York. That's why she left Blair and everything without saying goodbye. Happened here. I thought it happened when she was at boarding school and stuff like that. I didn't know it happened here, so it did. And so right after she got done having sex with Nate, she was very drunk, and she took a taxi to go see Georgina. And this is when it all happened. Georgina and her boyfriend were in a hotel, and Serena meets them up, and so Serena is sitting on the bed, and Georgina disappears somewhere, and her boyfriend is hitting on her, and he starts making out, and Serena's like, no, stop, really drunk. And so she has this really hot scene with him. They are just about to have sex when she finally says, no, stop. She goes, here, take this, and it's a line of cocaine. he sniffs it and starts having a freaking seizure. And she's freaking out. She's like, Georgina! Georgina, help! And Georgina's, of course, nowhere to be found. Georgina comes. She's like, oh my god! Her own boyfriend. She's like, leave him. Let's just go. Get your things that belong to you and let's go. So Serena hurries up and gets all her stuff. And she goes, we gotta call 911. So she picks up his cell phone and calls 911. When they leave, Georgina's like, Serena, let's just go our separate ways because they're going to look for us. And Georgina leaves. I don't know where the hell she goes, but Serena stays across the street. And she watches thinking that they're going to help this guy, and he comes out in a body bag, and she freaks out and just leaves. That's why she leaves, and Blair's like, ooh, I understand now. So that's what happened. So they all three know. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so show night, concert. Rufus is having his little concert. Vanessa's there, and Dan and Georgina come. And you know, they talk for a little bit. Not important. So anyway, it's Lily's dinner party. We're at Lily's dinner party now, and Lily freaking watches the tape. The tape of Serena. That sex tape. She freaks out. Oh yeah. But she turns it off really early. So she doesn't see, like, him dying, you know. So she confronts Serena and says, you know what, how would you like to go to the school and blah blah blah. She freaks Serena out. Serena starts crying. Blair goes out to her. And Blair and Chuck are like, go up to Lily and say, do not send her away yet. There's a secret you don't know about. Do not send her away, blah blah blah. So Serena leaves. And Lily chases up with her, and Lily takes her to this house. And Serena goes, where are we? And she goes, the parents of that boy. You're going to go talk to his parents. So Serena freaks out. She doesn't want to talk to his parents, but she does. When they don't blame her. You know, they say, oh, he was a cocaine addict before, you know, this happened. So we don't blame you. And so Serena feels like this big brick has been lifted off her shoulder, which I don't blame her, you know. Now she has nothing left for Georgina to, you know, have on her. So she thinks. So Nate calls Vanessa, right? This is a different scene. And Vanessa goes, oh yeah, Dan and Georgina, or Sarah's here. And Nate goes, her name is Georgina, don't trust her and all this stuff. And Vanessa's freaking out. So Nate tells Blair, and so Blair goes up to Chuck, and Blair's like, what if I tell you I know where Georgina is right now? And this is Chuck's exact words. He goes, then I would say, let's go get the bitch. Funny. Okay, sorry. That was an excellent line to put in there. Alright, so they leave. So, there is this part in there where freaking Dan and Georgina are walking in, and this girl's like, Georgina! And he goes, I thought your name was Sarah. And she's like, it is. Let's go. And so Georgina walks away from Dan for a second, and she meets up with Vanessa, and Vanessa's like, do you have anything to tell me? And in a big confrontation, she goes, I know the truth about you, Georgina. And she just walks away from Vanessa. She's not pissed, but she's like, bitch? You know, I don't know. So anyway, so Dan and Georgina are sitting there, and he goes, why is your name, I thought your name was Sarah. And she goes, Georgina freaking lies her ass off at her and says that, oh, she's running away from her ex-boyfriend, so she had to cover up her name and to have a fake name. And Dan buys it. He does, because, I mean, through his eyes, she looks really nice and all this junk. Okay, so, anyway, so Rufus is on, he's playing, Lily's there watching him, and she brings Serena along. Serena's looking for Dan, but Georgina and Dan, like, left. And then Blair, Chuck, and Nate all meet up at the same place with Vanessa. And so they're all looking for Dan and Serena and stuff like this. And Rufus is singing, and he sees Lily, and Lily runs out. And Rufus, like, after he's done, he runs up to Lily, and they have this big makeout scene, and finally, you know. So, everybody's looking for Dan, and Blair gets a call from a Humphrey, which is obviously Dan. And she goes, here, Serena, I think this call's for you. So Serena picks it up, and it's Georgina. And Serena goes, I'm not scared of you no more. You cannot scare me. We're done. And Georgina's like, well, you should be. And Serena's like, what did you do? And Serena's like, it's not what I... And Georgina is like, it's not what I did, it's what I'm going to do. And she hangs up. So it's obvious that she's going to try to sleep with Dan. And her and Dan had this big makeout session. So that's it for the episode. So next week, just a little recap. It looks like a lot of fighting to me, but I'll be here to recap it again.